Alright. So, hello and welcome to the SIHL TV and Radio Network. Glad to have you tuning in. So, the Quebec City Royals and the Boston Heroes, that's going to be our game today. Glad to have you tuning in. Oh yeah, I'm pretty good here today. Being on time, 6:47. Glad to have you here with us here on a Saturday night for some Saturday night baseball. First, Saturday night hockey. First of two slots here tonight. We have a double. It's going to be a double header for the broadcasting side of this. So we have a game tonight at 10:05 p.m. It'll be the San Diego Sharpshooters and the Seattle Stingrays in Seattle at the Stingray Center. So that game will be at 10:05 p.m. puck drop. 9:45 p.m. will be when our broadcast starts for this one, as this one was 6:45 p.m. We're just a couple minutes behind, 6:47. Glad to have you tuning in. So, welcome to the SIHL pregame show. Quebec City Royals and the Boston Heroes. So take a look at the Boston Heroes. 4-0, and Quebec City Royals are 3-0. Neither team has lost a game yet. Whose streak will continue? That is the question. The game will be at the Royal Palace here. The game will be at the Royal Palace in Quebec City. Quebec City Royals. Let's take a look at the matches. So for the Quebec City Royals, we go back into their schedule, as you can see here if you're watching on TV. Radio, I'll describe the games to you in just a second. So for the Quebec City Royals, they've only played 3 games so far. So these 2 games, if you're watching on TV, it says a week ago. These were only a few days ago. I can actually get my phone. So my phone can tell me exactly when these 2 games were played. So right now, I know no matter what, if you're on TV or radio, you cannot see it. But I eventually hope to have the radio being broadcast live. The radio is actually just going to on a second channel called SIHL Radio, and then I upload the full broadcast of these games here over on that channel in audio format only. So if you're listening there, and if you're watching on TV, it does not matter. I have the whole schedule out, which goes up to tomorrow. So then I'm going to find these 2 games. So Quebec City Royals defeat the New York Atlantics 5-2. So the first game, that was on Monday. Then the 4-3 overtime win was on Sunday the 16th. So that's when these 2 games were. So it is currently now the August 22nd. So it's been a few days since the Royals last played. They haven't played a game since Monday, so they've had almost all week off. But today they're going to be hosting the Boston Heroes. So the Quebec City Royals here at the Royal Palace. Hosting the Boston Heroes, as I just said, for the 15,000th time. But first we're going to take a look around the league. What's going on? We got a big day today. This is our schedule. This is us. If you're watching on the top left of your screen, you can see the highlighted little box. It's the Boston Heroes and the Quebec City Royals. Then we got, take a look. A lot of these games have already been played. Almost all of them except this is the only night game. This and the other one we're covering, Seattle and San Diego. The rest have been day games. All of them are day games except for the 2 we are covering, which have been adjusted. To fit. Which I picked the games based on, on my schedule and what I think will work best. These are the 2 that fit. Quebec City Royals, the Boston Heroes tonight, and just in about 13 minutes, we'll be opening puck drop. And then 10:05 p.m. puck drop, the Seattle Stingrays and the San Diego Sharpshooters at the Stingray Center. So the Seattle Stingrays, that'll be an interesting matchup, but Right now, we're going to be covering the Quebec City Royals. A lot of other games happened today. Rhode Island Steamboats in New York. I think we're going to be covering that Monday, I believe. Because it's the first of a 3-game set. And Washington and Baltimore, that happened earlier. We won't have the scores till probably tomorrow morning. Or maybe around midnight I might have them. But we will see. So then I'm just going to go through them. New York and Denver. They went these are all like 1 o'clock, 1:30 starts. Philadelphia and Columbus. Calgary and Austin in Calgary. We'll see how the Cougars do against the Bandits. Probably the earliest one of the day. Miami Vipers and the Orlando Ocean. That was like at 12:15. Winnipeg and Portland. And the only West Coast 1 o'clock start. It's kind of how I'm trying to say that right, because if I say late, it's the only 1 o'clock start in the West is the Los Angeles Monsters and the Vancouver Vikings. This could have been the other one, the Seattle San Diego game, but we're covering that. That is the night game, and that's gonna be the one that's 7:05 p.m. local time, 10:05 p.m. Eastern. All right, so moving on from that. Let's take a look at the standings. So the Quebec City Royals have a perfect record. These are the two best teams in the North Division. For the TV viewers, ignore that it says Mountain Division. They're like flip-flopped essentially. So the Mountain Division in the game, what's listed as the Mountain Division, that's actually the North Division. And then what is listed as the North Division, that's actually the West Coast Division. I believe that's what it's called. I think it might be baseball. Oh yeah, my phone's in my pocket. I put it in my pocket. And I can find the exact name, because I can't remember if it's called just West or if it has a name, because in my baseball league it's called the West Coast Division, which I am doing a little bit of stuff with that, but I got one just so I'm working on it now so I don't have to worry about it come May. So if I go to where I have all this stuff like logged or whatever, funny enough, I actually use Canva. I'm using Canva because that's where I have it stored. A little graphic, like text graphic I made a while ago that has divisions. I started making like a AAA. Yeah, we just don't have the infrastructure for that, nor do I have the time to create all that infrastructure since it's not in the game. If I did, we would absolutely use it. That's baseball. Yeah, this is baseball. Wrong one. I'm still looking for it, but so the North Division, the Boston Heroes, and the Quebec City Royals. But for your TV viewers and the viewers on the radio, you are looking at the last game. Says Seattle Stingrays, LA Monsters, San Diego going down. This is whatever we call the West Division, if I can find it. So I gotta have it somewhere. There we go. I have it. Found it. Yeah, we do call it the West Coast Division. It's also called the West Coast Division. That's funny. I didn't. So the last game says Gladiators, Monsters, San Diego, Seattle, Portland, and Vancouver. This is the North Division. Currently in the North Division. This is the West Coast Division. Currently on the West Coast. Alaska and Seattle are at the top. And they are tied for points. With Alaska being 6-3-0, Seattle only being second because they are 6-3-1. That's about it. Otherwise, they both have 6 points. That would be an overtime loss is the tiebreaker there. Then we have the LA Monsters, just a point ahead of the San Diego Sharpshooters. So San Diego, they are just Seattle's tied for first. San Diego's a point back from first. The only team really that's not looking too hot In the West Coast Division is the Portland Pilots. They only have 2 points in 4 games, and the record's 1-3-0. So they've off to a rough start here in the SIHL, in the Summer Ice Hockey League. They're off to a rough start. Yet they do not. They have the highest goals against per game as well at 3.75. The next highest is a tie between the Vancouver Vikings and the LA Monsters, and the lowest is, of course, the Alaska Aces, which they are the reigning champions, as they won the 2025. Yeah, the 2025 Gaudreau Cup. That's what they won. That's what we call it. Because around when I was making this, Johnny Gaudreau, you know the story. And I needed a name for my ship, and that gave me that opportunity. So I took it. And that's our trophy. So the Alaska Aces, we will not be covering them, but Seattle, we will be covering them later tonight in the second half of the doubleheader. Seattle, their goal is to take first place. That's going to be their goal tonight. And as we move back to the North Division, the Boston Heroes, their goal is to add to their lead at first. Right now they have a 2-point lead over the Royals. They're going to try and extend that gap to a 4-point gap. Because right now the Boston Heroes, with 8 points, lead the Royals by 2, as the Royals have 6. They're looking to get even further ahead of their competition. Take a wider lead at first. But we will see. Because if the Royals win, they're tied. And then they're going to be, these two will kind of be in a league of their own compared to the rest of the North Division. Columbus, Philly, New York, both New York teams, the Steamboats, and Toronto. They're all going to be at least either 2 points behind or further. And there are still 2 teams that don't have a win. They're both they're the Florida teams. No, actually, Miami won today, so Orlando is the only team in the SIHL that does not have a win yet. They have 0 points. They don't have the highest goals against, but they have the lowest goals for, 1.6. Actually, probably in the entire league. We're just coming in the entire league pretty much now. We have 5 minutes, so we got to get to the Indo Ocean. Yep, they're dead last. They're team 29. Yeah, they're not doing too hot. But moving on to this specific matchup, the Boston Heroes and the Quebec City Royals. Take a look at your starting lineups. So, take a look at the Quebec City Royals. You have Uri Slafkovsky in left, Robert Thomas in center, and Oliver Bjorkstrand in right for your top line. Take a look at your second line. You have Miles Wood in left, Nico Heischer in center, and Jack Quinn in right. Then take a look at your third line. For the Royals, you have Colin White, Tanner Lasinski in center, Colin White in left, Lasinski in center, and Kyler Yamamoto in right. Then, to round out your bottom six, you have Seth Griffin in left, Ryan Carpenter in center, and then Scott Savorin in right. And take a look at the Quebec City defense. You have Nick Leddy in left, Moritz Seider in right. Duplicates. Try not to do duplicates. I think I found another one. Gotta live with it. That's why in baseball I don't have a problem with duplicates. You have Scott Baranovich and then Jared Spurgeon. This team can't play another certain team, or at least I can't show it. Because I don't want to make it obvious. So we have Scott Baranovich, Jared Spurgeon, Spencer Stastny, and Austin Strand for your defense. Baranovich and Spurgeon your second pairing, Stastny and Strand your bottom pairing. And taking a look at the starting lineup for the Boston Heroes. So for the Boston Heroes, you have Carter Verhaeghe in left, and G.T. Miller in center, and Kucherov in right. For your top line, you have Niels Hoglander in left, Claude Giroux in center, and Tim Eastman in right. And for your third line, you have Dmitry Voronkov in left, Philip Deneau in center, and Logan O'Connor in right. For bottom line, you have Max McCormick in left, Rossi in center, Marco Rossi. And you have Chris Wagner in right. Take a look at your starting goaltenders. For the Boston Heroes, your starting goaltender will be Mackenzie Blackwood. So, take a look at Blackwood. He's won all 3 games he's played. He's been fantastic. Save percentage of .952 with 165 goals against average, which is some really incredible numbers to start the year. Playing 3 games, and he's won all 3. Really good for him. And take a look at the Quebec side of the ice. We have Spencer Knight going between the pipes for the Quebec City Royals. Again, really good stats here. 3 games, 3 wins, 81 saves, 920 save percentage, 230 goals against average. 2 really good goaltenders in a game that's quite important as far as first place in the North Division goes. That's what the stakes are. 7:03. We still got 2 minutes. Have time to get set up. Okay. So here we are, the Quebec City Royals and the Boston Heroes. Royals looking to bridge that gap and get tied with Boston. Boston looking to expand that lead over with first place in the North Division. Yeah, they're looking to double it essentially, get a 4-point lead over the Royals and which is their closest competitor in the North. And we have a minute. Wait, no, we don't. Never mind. We go. Sit back and enjoy. Quebec City Royals and the Boston Heroes. In Quebec City. What's their alternate look like? No, they got the black out. That's pretty cool. The yellow going down, but they're going to be their homes today. Alright. Enjoy the game. Hello and welcome to downtown Quebec. I'm with the Quebec City Royals, as they're going to be taking on the Boston Heroes here at the Royal Palace. Sit back and enjoy this one. Quebec City Royals in the black and yellow uniforms. They're shot in the backhand right in the front, into the hero zone, and then stay up at the backhand. So Quebec City Royals in their yellow home jersey with the black shoulders and the black and white stripes. Then the Boston Heroes in their red and white road uniforms, primarily red with the blue, black, and red stripes. And we're on the way shot there in the Quebec zone. Safe there in the far corner is Carter Verhage behind the goal. As there is Oliver Yorkshire and off the boards. Uri Slavkovsky along the left wing boards, able to move on in. Top of the left circle. Robert Thomas, the drop out shot there, saving on the near boards. Uri Slavkovsky back up high. Out to center. Moritz Sider. Cross ice for Bjorkstrand. Bjorkstrand trying to move across. JT Miller is there, going back the other way along the left wing. Into the Quebec zone. Stripped up by Nikita Kucherov. Kucherov pinned against the wall. With a loose puck, Jamie Alexiak, the big rig. Able to dump it to the corner. Skipped up by Nick Letty. Over to Robert Thomas. That's Robert Thomas. There's Oliver Berkshire. And the top of the right circle in the corner is Cale McCarr. And I don't know if I looked at the defense for the Heroes, but it is what it is. Quadro. I'll say Spencer Knight holds on for the whistle with 16:32 to go here in the first 2 shots for each team so far. Glad to have you tuning in. Nico Heischer taking the face-off against Quad Giroux. On the face-off, he wins it for the Quebec City Royals. Delayed penalty on the way against Boston. Jack Quaid moving in. Top of the right circle, and they're going to call the penalty against Quad Giroux. Quad Giroux going to the box. The call going to be interference right off that face-off. Oh yeah, he gets his hand inside Nico Heischer's business, so he's going to the box. Interference. Quebec going to the power play. The 5 out for the Royals, just 4 out for the Boston Heroes. face off in the Boston zone. Seth Griffith facing Philip Deneau, and Griffith able to win it for Boston, and it's out to center ice. Tyler Yamamoto able to get in control and trying to move back into Boston end. Griffith the front, but he's knocked down. Scooped up by Dmitry Voronkov. Along the wing, they're able to dump it down the ice, and it'll skitter its way all the way behind the goal line. You're Slavkovsky in the corner, able to get out to Tyler Yamamoto. With the drop off, able to get over to Miles Wood. On his back end, that one was intercepted. Simon Edvidson is there. Dumps it at the center. Along the near ball. It's cornered back in. Right along that Boston line along the right side, along the left side. And the Boston hero is able to get it out. Over to Seth Griffith. Trying to move to the middle miles with a shot there and a save. Mackenzie Blackwood holding on for the whistle. On the face-off went. Oh, and I see it. Martin Center moving in with a shot save. Scooped up by Cale McCarr along the right side, able to dump it out, but Center able to block it down for the Quebec City Royals. Bjorkstrand able to move on in. Bjorkstrand McCarr. Bjorkstrand, good move with the backhand Thomas. Right to the front, shot there and a save for the glove of Mackenzie Blackwood. Nico Heischer, Carter Verhaeg, the face-off. And to Blackwood's right, and the Royals able to win in their offensive zone. Right to the front, shot there, save with the pad by Blackwood down on the goal, back up high over to Jared Spurgeon. The drop off Moritz Sider over to Nico Heischer in the high spot, shot there and a save with ease for Blackwood once again. And this time to face off to Blackwood's right in the Boston Heroes' own zone. The drop against Heischer. Heischer able to win the draw for Quebec. Bjorkstrand and Thomas moving right in the middle with a shot and a save. Loose puck, back out it goes. Back in the corner, Bjorkstrand. Thomas in front and a save. Down in the corner. Jamie Alexiak. The big red gets it out to center glove down in the neutral zone. Bjorkstrand off the feed. Moving back in the high slot. Heischer receives the drop off. After Bjorkstrand also shot over top of the goal. It was saved, and now the puck is loose. It's along the side of the net, and Blackwood's just going to hold on for a whistle, so we'll have another face-off. So the Quebec City Royals have 10 shots in the Boston Heroes Savages 2 with 13:33 remaining in period 1. On the face-off win, Simon Edmondson. There's still to go along that left wing. Able to move it in the middle. But actually, he's not able to. He looked for a lane, but he ends up intercepting the pass, and the puck is turned over. Ball wide back along the other side. We are at even strength. Here's Lasinski moving in along the right wing. The pass, Tyler Yamamoto looking for some open space, unable to find some. And ends up in the crosshairs of Mackenzie Blackwood. And we'll have another face-off once again in the Boston zone. Most of the possession time so far has been for the Quebec City Royals. Boston in first place. Fighting in first place, they're struggling a little bit to start this one. Nikita Kucherov back on the near side. Brady able to move in the middle. Two Quebec defenders in front. He lost it, Kucherov. And we're going to have an offside. Nico Heischer on that second line with Wood and Jack Quinn. On the face-off one, Miles Wood. Cutting across. But he turns it over. Nikita Kucherov the other way. Look for some open space, but none exists. Still gets a shot off, but not too great of a shot. An easy save there. Jack Quinn down the ice. He's pressured, but he loses it pretty quickly. Nikita Kucherov, JT Miller for Boston. JT Miller. In the left circle, the shot there saved. Turn to the side. Perunovich got it back for the Royals. Jack Quinn is there, able to get out to center in the middle. Right through the center ice. Wood in the offensive zone. Pass in front, and then that one was broken up. Nico Heischer going off the skate of a defender. Back up high for the Royals in the Boston zone. That one stolen by Kucherov, who goes out to center looking for some open space. He's able to grip it and take a slap shot. And a save to the corner it goes. Spurgeon retreats it, and back out of center is Nico Asher with the puck, but he's cornered. Look for some open space. Couldn't find any, ends up turning it over. Nobody poked it away. A chance to get it back and race to the puck. But he doesn't get there. And ends up in the hands of Tim Eastman for the Boston Heroes at center ice. Hoglander off the drop-off. Boston trying to get something going in the offensive zone as they enter it. It's turned over immediately to Perunovich. Back the other way go the Quebec City Royals down the right side. Born move in the middle. Griffith the drop-off shot there and a save by Blackwood holding on. And we'll have another face-off once again in Boston territory. So the Boston Heroes, they're in first place right now and they're struggling in this first period. Will they hold that first place spot for long? We will see. And Tim Eastman the drop off to Brown. Brown moving in the offensive zone, but it's poked away with ease by Nicoletti for the Royals. And here comes Ryan Carpenter for Quebec. He took a hit. Saborn tried to take over, and we lost it too. There's too many bodies in the way. Torrey back into the Quebec zone. Torrey moves in with a shot and a save by Spencer Knight. Which is a fitting name for being on the Royals. Spencer Knight. Oh, like royalty, the kings and queens and all that. It's kind of the same name because Quebec City is known for. Montreal is known for that kind of type of stuff too, but I think the name rather Montreal Royals doesn't have as good a sound as Quebec City Royals. Shot there in the glove save in the slot in the Boston zone, and a save will have a penalty on the way against Dmitry Voronkov for the Boston Heroes. He's going off for cross-checking. Oh yeah, so he just took. He got his fist. He did the thing with his fist to the back of his opponent's back to his shoulders, and he's going to the box. So the Royals on the power play, and the Heroes able to win the face-off of their own end. They're on the penalty kill. Here's Max McCormick over the line. Shot there to save it, and then to the corner it goes. Jack Quinn on the wing. Here's Griffith over the right line. Griffith, good pass. Low in the backhand with a shot there and a save. Skipped up at the corner. There's Brandon Montour. Out to center. Kept in by Slavkovsky barely. Brandon Montour gets it back for Boston. Here's Wagner for the Heroes. Evanson out the drop-off. Hit behind the play. Owens dumped him down the ice and will go all the way down. There's Slavkovsky able to get it back. Miles over there for the Royals. Kyler Yamamoto cutting through. On the back end, top of the left circle. Shot there, missed the net on a slap shot. Miles were able to get it back. Down low in the trapezoid, behind the goal. By Yamamoto in the circle shot there, save. Attempt for a rebound, but Montour steals it away and gets it down the ice pretty quickly for Boston. All the way down it goes. Slavkovsky able to get there first. And back the other way goes the Royals on this power play. Yamamoto in the offensive zone, but he lost it in the corner there to Cale McCarr. They're able to get it out just barely. Jack Quinn able to knock it down. Cale McCarr, 28 seconds on the power play. Able to move in the left side. Now they're saved. Now rebounds. The Royals able to get it back. Royals back down the ice. Down to 18 seconds on the man advantage. Turned over. Bjorkstrand and Alexiak trying on. Shot to the net. Save. Bjorkstrand chance on goal and glove save. Mackenzie Blackwood holding out for the whistle. We just have 10 seconds on the power play for the Royals. .24 to go in the first. Cale McCarr at the face-off win. Look at that to the neutral zone just barely. Was able to knock it down. He sure drops it off to Sider. Brookstream moves in. Brookstream on the backhand, spinning around. Good pass to Thomas. He shoots. Glove save. Mackenzie Blackwood. Look at offensive work here in the first period by the Quebec City Royals. Boston Heroes, they're struggling to defend it. They're relying a lot on their goaltender, Mackenzie Blackwood. He's done fantastic so far. 5 minutes ago in the first, less than that now. Perunovich out with the face-off win. And he ends up turning it over to Carter Verhage. Verhage pressured. Nikita Kucherov. Drop off to JT Miller. Good pass for Verhage. He shoots with a save with the pad by Spencer Knight. 4:36 to go in period 1 for the Royals and the Heroes. Here on a Saturday night. Glad to have you tuning in here on the SIHL TV and radio network. On the face-off win, the Royals able to win their own zone. Bjorkstrand out to center. Bjorkstrand feeds Slavkovsky on the other side. Shot there, saving. Tried to get a rebound attempt, but it did not work out too well for the Royals as Boston able to get back out to center. Claude Giroux, Tim Eastman. He's going but trying to find the room. Drew picks it up. His shot was blocked by Jared Spurgeon. Here's Oliver Yorkshire going back the other way along the left side, but moves to the middle with Slavkowski. For a shot, it was blocked. A rebound, save, Blackwood. So the Boston Heroes struggling offensively and defensively in this first period, relying a lot on Mackenzie Blackwood to keep this game scoreless. He's been down the line. Over the drop off pass from the high slot with a shot there and a save. Spencer Knight holding on for the whistle. So, some big hits in this one so far. It's hard to cover the Morris side with it. The big hit on a Boston defense forward. So Philip Renault facing Ryan Carpenter in the Boston zone. We have most of the faceoffs have been in the Quebec zone. This faceoff is, and most faceoffs have been in the Boston zone. Griffith out to center down the left side, able to move into the Boston end. Griffith a shot there and a save. Blackwood holding on for the whistle. So we don't have a faceoff. One thing Boston is known for is they are known for their history, which they were the first city. But you know, in sports world, their main claim to fame is the Boston Red Sox. They've been that game's been around for 1913, 1914. That's probably around when it was built. Still standing, which is here out there in the save in the Quebec zone as the Royals able to get out to center. There was a hit behind the play. There's the Quebec City Royals. Body position in their own zone. Heroes get it. Connor right to the front, able to move on in with a shot and a save of the glove by Spencer Knight. Yeah, the Boston is mainly known for the Red Sox. And before that, they were known for the Patriots, but the Patriots, they left town for Foxborough an hour away. And it's exactly between Boston and Rhode Island. It's a fun fact. It's exactly the midpoint. The town where the Patriots play. But their main thing is the Red Sox, and they also do have the Boston Bruins. Both are very historic franchises in the NHL. The Boston Bruins are an original 6 franchise. So that's a lot of history there. Boston Heroes obviously very new, just their second year of operation, first year in Boston. Hickey over the line, able to move on in. Sorry, we'll take it away on the backhand, back to the near side. And they were trying to do something in the center, but that will end the period. 20 minutes of the books. The Boston Heroes and the Quebec City Royals tying at 1. Thanks to some great work from Mackenzie Blackwood defensively and goaltending wise for the Heroes. We're scoreless after 1. You are listening to the SIHL TV and Radio Network. Glad to have you tuning in. My phone is free. I'll be checking the YouTube. Let's see if anybody's watching. Try to provide a good product. I'm gonna act like people are watching, even if nobody is. Boston Heroes and the Quebec City Royals. Glad to have you tuning in. And the SIHL TV and Radio Network. 20 shots for the Royals, 12 for the Boston Heroes. So the Boston Heroes, I mean, they did struggle quite a bit defensively and offensively. They had a lot of possession time. They had some, but not a lot of possession time. The Royals, they did their best, but their problem is they can't beat Blackwood. That's kind of their issue here, and they're gonna work that out. So the Boston Heroes and the Quebec City Royals. And 20 shots for the Quebec City Royals, 12 for Boston, 14 for Quebec, 18 for Boston. Boston's doing better in that regard. 12 faceoffs, 1 for the Royals, 8 for the Boston Heroes. So 2 power plays for Quebec. They don't score on either, as there is no goals yet in this one. Boston had they've taken 2 penalties. You know, they got to work on their discipline. Quebec has not been in the box yet, so they're doing really good on that front. So you're listening to the SIHL TV and Radio Network. Period 2 is on the way, so stick around. Glad to have you. Boston Heroes and the Quebec City Royals. Glad to have you tuned in. Period 2, scoreless game here in Quebec City as the Royals face the Heroes. The face-off lane, Jamie Alexiak able to Move on in over the red line, entering the zone. On the right side, able to move in the middle. Shot there. Save, rebound, they score! Nikita Kucherov on the rebound, and the Boston Heroes get on the board early in period 2. Despite the struggle in the first period offensively, immediately here in the second, on a rebound, Kucherov comes through. So his teammates moving down the right side, takes a shot at the net. South of head, Kucherov, the Boston captain's right there. He catches the rebound and takes a second shot to put it past Spencer Knight, and it's 1-0 Boston. Alexiak and JT Miller the assists. For the Heroes, and we're right back away. Bjorkstrand over the line into the Boston zone, but it's poked away there as Norris scoops it up. Alexiak in the middle, able to find Kale McCarr over the right line. Kucherov able to move on in. Good drop off there, shot there, saved to the corner, it goes. Along the far side, Miller. Back up high over to Alexiak, shot there. I said, McLeody able to scoop it up, back up. Along the wing now, Slavkovsky cross ice over to Moritz Seider, finding Oliver Bjorkstrand there. Over the red line, he took a big hit, there's one scooped up by Kale McCarr. Able to move back towards the middle. McCarr, top of the left circle. Thomas. Able to move on in, over the blue line. Bjorkstrand the drop off, slap shots there, saved to the corner it goes. Thomas battering there in the far corner. Over to Kale McCarr. Kale McCarr. Over the red line, moving back in the middle. Kale McCarr, drop off pass to JT Miller. On the far side, it is Moritz Seider. The drop off pass back to the near side. Long pass over to Jack Quinn. Haven't got to say his name too much today. Quinn tried to take a shot, but he was hindered greatly by a Boston defender. And we'll have a face off. So the Heroes lead 1-0. Boston, I mean, they struggled a lot in the first period, but immediately they connect. Well, they don't really connect. Kucherov connects on a rebound immediately to start this second period, giving the Heroes the 1-0 lead. So, we talk about Boston's history in the first, which that was interesting. I mean, it's very historic. They're on the road. Just it's interesting to talk about theirs. Quebec does have their own rich history in sports themselves. As Wood behind the goal line. And the Raptors back up high. Jack Quinn, a shot there and save in the far corner. Jones Wood able to pick it back up there. Claude Giroux battling in the corner. A bit of almost a cluster there in the corners. And the Heroes able to win the battle, and they get it back into the offensive zone. Tim Eastman on the backhand. Drop off from Niels Hoglander. Spinning around, looking for an open lane. Can't find any. He's in the corner, able to go back up high, and that one's out to center. As Simon Edmonds, he was at the point originally. And they find Tim Eastman again, as Boston's trying to regroup. And they cluster again along the wall this time. Eastman able to win it again for the Heroes. They're almost like battles. And in the corner, you're fighting, there's all these guys around you. On both your team and the other team trying to get the puck, and then just how long will it last? Who's going to end up with that puck? Turnover there, Moyd able to receive it. Over to Nico Heischer off the drop off. Heischer moving down left side to the middle. Jack Quinn, his shot is blocked. Skip back up by Tenorti. Over to Tim Eastman, able to move top of the right circle. Eastman to the middle with a shot there and a save. Skip back up by Kyler Yamamoto. Feed over to Lozinski, stopping up. Tried to go to the middle, did not work out too well. Back the other way to Dmitry Voronkov. Trying to move in, top of the right circle, able to move on in. The slot with a shot and a save, Spencer Knight. What have you? Sitting in. 13-2 to go in the second. The Quebec City Royals and the Moss. Hope you're enjoying yourself here. Shot there, save on the far side it goes. Moritz Seider. There's Nick Leddy. Over to Colin White along the right wing. Able to move on in. Looking for an option there. Quick decision was made. But it doesn't work out too well for the Royals. As here's Deneau the other way. Deneau, a very bad pass there, but Nick Leddy retrieves it and turns it over for the Royals. And the Royals back down the other way. White spinning around. No option, so he goes back to Leddy. Moritz Seider able to rip one, save to the far corner it goes. And Kucherov retrieves it first. He's just swooped in the last second. And here comes the Heroes as they dump it in the zone deep enough. The Royals get it back and now reset. Almost like a penalty kill move there. Shot there, score! Robert Thomas! Don't know how that would end, but the game's tied at 1. A slap shot, I believe it went and bounced off the inside of the goaltender's armpit, and it went in. I don't think I've ever seen that before in my life. It chipped, like bounced off the bottom of his glove, actually. That's what I think happened there. Very strange goal, and the game's tied at 1. So we're almost halfway through. The Royals able to tie the game at 1 for Robert Thomas, Bjorkstrand, and Nick Levy the assists. Here's Bjorkstrand. You can hear the announcement. There you go. There you go. So, you had to hear the announcement. Alexiak is the Heroes battling in the defense, in the offensive zone. And we'll have a penalty on the way against the Quebec City Royals. Oliver Bjorkstrand going to the penalty box. Yeah, I got dinner. So the Royals to the power play with the game tied at 1. Face off the Heroes to the power play, sorry. The game tied at 1 after Robert Thomas just took away their 1-0 lead. Now they have a chance to get that 1-goal lead right back. They're very able to move on in. Kucherov in the offensive zone with a shot there. Not easy save. Spencer Knight it just trickled to the net. There's the Royals mascot. The face-off win. Marco Rossi, top of the left circle. He's in. And there's Deneau to throw the shot, and he scores! A power play strike for the Boston Heroes. Philip Deneau. And that's 2-1 for the Boston Heroes. Didn't take too long. Puck was just there in the slot. Deneau happened to be right there. He takes control. And then he just goes for a far side beauty. And he shoots in that left corner. From the goaltender's perspective, it's his left arm, right above his left arm. Yeah, right above his glove on his left hand, and the Heroes lead 2-1. So Jack went able to move in the offensive zone, but turned over easily by Brandon Montour. Stoklander down the wing in the offensive zone. Drew the short pass and a shot there and a save by Spencer Knight. .8:34 to go in the second period. Off the face-off win, Jared Spurgeon. Back to the near side is Miles Wood. Able to move to the middle, Nico Heischer. The pass Wood is there. Here's Claude going back the other way for Boston. He's been able to move on in. That one scooped up back along the right wing is Scott Brunovich. Right over there, Niels Hoglander for the Boston Heroes. Eastman down low, right to the front. They score! Oh, what a pass to Claude Giroux! Out of nowhere! And the Heroes lead 3-1. What a pass and what a shot. So out of nowhere, Claude Giroux just there. You think nobody was watching him. And then he just slowly but very smoothly scurries towards the front of the net, and then what a pass, and then what a shot to beat Spencer Knight to get the Heroes a 3-1 lead. Actually incredible. Eastman and Niels Hoglander the assists. Saw the face-off lane. Cale McCarr able to do the drop-off there. Back on the near side is Nikita Kucherov. Got a baby. Kucherov, McCarr the pass. Shows some good weaving. JT Miller is there. Get back to work, and a glove save, Spencer Knight. It looked like a different team out there in this second period. On the face-off, one more at Sider. And here's Latkowski in the middle, a little over the blue line. Go drag, looking for some space, can't find any. McCarr able to take it away for the Boston Heroes. Now this Heroes team is really getting going. In this slow motion. They took it slow in the first period. And now the wheels are turning for Boston. Wells able to move in the offensive zone. Thomas with a shot there. Saved to the corner. It goes. Scooped up by Urias. Live pass play on the wing. Flat shot to the net and a save. Alexiak, the big rig, able to get McCarr out to center for the Heroes. McCarr back check, but still gets the pass over to Kucherov, but he can't take a shot. But he took it back for the Quebec City Royals, and down the ice they go. But Verhaeghe's able to block it there. The loose puck scooped up by Letty. Short pass to Thomas. Robert Thomas scored the tying goal earlier. The only goal for the Royals so far. And we'll have a save by Blackwood in the faceoff. Of course, 57 to go in the period. Faceoff to Mackenzie Blackwood's left in the Boston zone. 450 on the faceoff win. The Heroes able to win in their own end. O'Connor able to get out to center. Oh, shot there. A save. Rock out to the front of the back. And oh, what a glove save. Spencer Knight. He slammed the door shut and kept the Heroes from taking a 3-goal lead. Wow, what a save. Nico Hischier and Philip Darrell off the draw. Was a hit they showed in the eye, but I was more focused on that save. Philip Darrell, Nico Hischier, the face-off win, back up high. Oh, a big hit there. The Heroes on possession in the offensive zone. Down to the far corner, back up high, Jason Tenorti. Quick, Hischier scoops in. Down the way, Hischier's got some speed. Might as well the pass. Oh, shot, save, puck is loose. Wells goes to try and pressure him in the zone. And Hischier in front. Shot and a save, Blackwood. Quite heavy to it in. The tensions are high. They're at Quebec City. Off to the right, Claude the face-off one over to Simon Edvardson. Heroes lead 3-1. Over the line, Brandon Montour, top of the right circle, able to move on with a shot there, a save. Spencer Knight as he holds on for the whistle. Nico Hischier and Claude the face-off. And in the Quebec zone, able to be won by the Boston Heroes. There was Simon Evans able to spin around. A shot there to save. Hoaglander going to back down low. Back up by the Boston Heroes. They're going to cycle. Evanson, Giroux, top of the left circle, moving to the high slot in the middle with a shot and a save. It's a left shot nonetheless as the Royals get back out to center ice. Champ of the crowd, Nico Hischier on the drop off, but he turned it over. Tim Eastman back the other way. Try to go back the other way, but shut out by Tyler Yamamoto. Trying to get the puck back. Montour recovers for Boston, but he's knocked off as he gets out to center. Quebec for trying to re-enter the second or third try as Yamamoto finally enters. On the corner right to the front, but he can't do much. Eastman got a bit of room, but it's fading quickly. Eastman out of the front. And the pass was an interception of Lisinski. More Sider over to Colin White. Right on the far side. Good drop-off pass to Lisinski in the middle. Over to Sider, and shoots to the save. Scooped up by McCarr, back on the near side, 23 seconds to go in period 2. Final seconds tick it away. The Heroes lay 3-1. Sider able to move in. On that right line, able to dump it in. Goes in deep. Final seconds tick it away here in period 2. And that will be 40 minutes in the books. So second period able to come to a close. Heroes take a 3-1 lead. Some crazy action. Here in the second, you're listening to the SIHL TV and Radio Network. So the Boston Heroes take a big lead here in the second. Initially the Royals tie it, but then Boston... So Heroes take the 1-0 lead, almost in 17 seconds in the second. And Robert Thomas (9 minutes in) ties the game. off that weird slap shot goal. And then later, Deneau takes the lead, and then Giroux, when he swooped in and the most, he just started him into the front, and that incredible pass, or like a one-timer like scenario. Nope. To make sure you guys can hear me. There we go. So the Boston Heroes, they played a really good second period. Like, it was complete, it was night and day from their first period. It didn't look like the same team to me. It did not look like the same team to me one bit. So you're listening to the SIHL TV and Radio Network. Glad to have you tuning in for the intermission. So Boston won more faceoffs than the Royals. Now they have more possession time. The tides are turning. We'll see how period 3 goes. Final 20 minutes remaining. Final 20 minutes, here we go. Quebec City Royals and the Boston Heroes. You're listening to the SIHL TV and Radio Network. Glad to have you tuned in. Final 20 minutes of this one. Heroes lead 3-1. Here we go. They hit the wrong side, Royals in their own zone, trying to get possession of it and get out of their own end. Try the drop off, good pass over to Robert Thomas. Where to go earlier in the corner, gets it back. Down the corner, back up. I ain't missed it. And it goes all the way down the ice. And the Royals able to work it back. Oh, a hit along the play. A player lost his stick. Pulled it up. Now he's got to go to the bench and get a new one. So Jamie Alexiak. Battle in the corner there, Alex. Yeah, Alexiak, he was the one who... Alexiak tripping. He tripped the Quebec City Royal. So he's going to the box. Royals to the power play. 1 minute and 30 seconds in. And the Heroes able to win it on their own end. Short and Montour able to get it out to the neutral zone. Wood able to get it right back. And moves back in almost like in like crescent shape as a shot there to the net. And save. They almost like a crescent shape. Move back out to center and then right back in along the other side. I did like that move. That was an interesting decision there. On the face-off win, Brandon Montour able to find Dmitry Voronkov, able to go on the right side. No, he's backchecked so heavily, he almost lost it, but he got it. He able to retain, get a shot that was sweet to the side with the goalie stick of Spencer Knight. Miles Wood down the other way with Seth Griffith on the right side. Sider, Jared Spurgeon. And short pass. Griffith is there. Top of the right circle. Griffith, he shoots with a save. Blackwood holding out for the whistle. Over the wrong side and Ross, and the shot there was blocked. JT Miller able to clear it down the ice all the way down. It will go. Less than a minute to go on the Royals power play. Seth Griffith is there, able to find Miles Wood. Wood over the blue line, able to move in. Top of the right circle, Yamamoto with a shot save, no rebound. He sure gets it there, Yamamoto. Bottom of the left circle, shot to the net there, save. He's sure on the backhand. Good pass, Sider. Spurgeon. Royals looking for a shooting lane, none are available. Sider, no shot. It's kept in there by Jared Spurgeon. Down low over to Miles Wood. He's sure the corner there on the backhand. Miller is there, able to... No, it's kept in by Spurgeon. Spurgeon, good pass, he sure, but it was poked away. That one will be cleared down the ice, jab of the crowd. Jared Spurgeon moves the back end. Rips one in the save, back of the other side. Kale McCarr. JT Miller. Try to move through center, and then McCarr able to find Rossi despite being hit. Slow to get up, but he's... And another score! Right in the front, Nico Heischer! And it's a 1-goal game. Fourth this year for the Royals for Nico Heischer. A bit of a crazy play. And then all of a sudden, when Heischer somehow ended up with the puck, he's right in front of the net and just got a backhand shot. And he gets it past that glove on the left hand of Mackenzie Blackwood to make it a 1-goal game. There are the Royals able to win the rush, so Koski able to move on in. There's the goal call. Yorkshire able to move in, shot there and a glove save. She got that from the right circle. Nico Heischer on that goal. What a goal for him. 1-goal game, this one's going to be a tight one. You can tell, 15 minutes remain. Royals showing some fight back. Perunovic. Royals looked good initially, but they couldn't beat Blackwood in the first period. And then Boston kind of went off the rails, shot their block right in the middle of the circles in the Quebec zone. Back out to center it goes. Here comes Slavkovsky for the Royals. And it was intercepted by Simon Edmondson. Over the right side, here's Eastman able to cut across, try to cut across in. Finds Drew on the back end. Back to Eastman, right to the front with a shot save. Scooped in the near corner, Scott Perunovic able to find your eyes. Slavkovsky spinning back around. Over to Ryan Carpenter. Carpenter able to find Scott Saboring along the left wing. Down in the corner. He's pinned against the wall. Claude Giroux able to find Neil Soklander along the right side, moving to the middle. The pass there, out to drop off. Back to Neil Soklander in the middle with a shot there, stick to side by Spencer on the backhand. Back to the Fries, shot there, save, tried to find Giroux, but he couldn't get the pass. On Giroux, a slap shot and a saves. Scooped up, and Royals trying to get out of their center, but they're trapped in for now. Perunovic finally does get out to center. Finds Griffith in the middle. Griffith lost it. Lisinski back along the right side. Edfordson. Here's Philip Deneau. Pass to the middle. Dmitry Voronkov able to find Eastman in the middle. Eastman. He's sandwiched. Yamamoto takes it right back in the Royal zone. Back the other way is Colin White. Down the right side, able to move in the middle. Colin White retrieves it on the back end. Oh, good drop off of Yamamoto, but it's poked away from him. Yamamoto retrieves it in the corner. And he's now behind the net with the puck. Finds Colin White with a shot there and a save. Now it's scooped up by O'Connor. He's along the left wing, trying to get out of the zone for the Heroes, and he does. Voronkov, good pass to now. He's moving quickly down the corner, scooped up by Stastny. Colin White along the side. Nice slide, trying to move to the pro shot there to save. Puck is loose. Voronkov, another backhand chance. Blackwood an easy save, holding on for what's less than 10 minutes to go. 9:33 remaining in the third. 3-2, Boston with a slim 1-goal lead. They lead 3-2. Nico Heischer filled to know the face-off. Right up Blackwood. And the Royals able to win in the offensive end. Blocked by Voronkov with a shot. Out to center is Logan O'Connor. Heroes on the rush. Carter gets it right back. And back the other way in the Boston end. Lisinski knocked down. I believe that was Lisinski, but JT Miller has it now. Miller along the right side in the middle for Hagee with a shot there. Save with the blocker. Move to the corner, but Quinn recovers it right back up. And he misfires it. Down the ice it goes. All the way down. The big rig Alexiak starts again. Back over to Nikita Kucherov. The drop off Carter for Hagee to the middle. Drop off JT Miller with a shot there in the middle. A glove save by Spencer Knight. Nico Heischer and JT Miller the face-off wing. Up high is Alexiak, an easy shot to the net there on a glove save, holding on for the whistle. On the face-off win, JT Miller. Got McCarr on the top of the circle. Lee Quinn able to get back out to center and over the blue line on the far side. Able to move on in. Almost lost it, got it back behind the goal. Quinn looking for an option. He goes right side. Letty on the back end. Sider shot there and a save. Blackwood barely holds on to it. Barely. I mean, fighting for his life to keep that puck from going over the red line. Robert Thomas facing JT Miller. Thomas is able to, Hero's able to win it in their own zone. Kucherov out to center. McCarr recovers it. He's on his back end and through. He's hit, but he finds Verhage with a shot and a save. Verhage gets it right back. A rebound. No. He's denied by Knight, and Spencer Knight holds on. Then we'll have another face-off to the left of Spencer, to the right of Spencer Knight. On the face-off one, Brown trying to move to the front. Letty is there. Letty over the line, the backhand. That one intercepted by Girardi back the other way. Neil Soklander over the line, able to cut across. Tried to cut across him, but there's nobody there to do so. Weak shot to the net, save there. Hookley on the backhand with a chest denied. There's Robert Thomas, Claude Drew, Nick Letty, Neil Soklander, but the puck's bouncing around and ends up with a stick of Jigger Spurgeon. Out to center over the line. Brown able to hold on to it. Shot in the backhand. Save of the glove. Mackenzie Blackwood. On the face-off win. Shot in the backhand. Save there in the corner. Colin White back up by Peronovich with a shot there and save. Back along the near side. Down the corner, back up high. The ice, Lesinski. Good pass over to White in the far boards. Top of the circle. Weak shot to the goal. Back on the near side again. Brady cross ice with Kucherov. Going double zone, able to go in deep. Peronovich able to get their first in his own zone. Wazinski a short drop off and ends up Knight. He almost put it in his own net. Knight recovered for him. Oh, a big hit behind the play. Yamamoto able to move on in. Good pass, Colin White. In the slot with a shot and a save, Blackwood. 2:43 remaining in the period 3. Boston with a 3-2 lead here in the third. Bridget took a big hit earlier. If you're on TV, you just saw the clip. He took a big hit earlier. Pretty big hits in this game. Especially Boston. Boston's been really aggressive. Probably part of the reason they have that lead in the North Division. Jim Eastman with a shot there and a save. Scooped up by Strand. Over to Lesinski. I'm trying to move to the middle and able to find Colin White. The backhand with a weak shot and just missed the net wide. Scooped up by Lesinski. The quarterback up high is Stastny. Over to Strand. Able to take a slap shot to the net and a save to the far side it goes. Yamamoto back up high. Strand again with a shot and a tip. Score! Strand for his first goal. As a Royal, the game's tied at 3 with just a minute and a half remaining. Up high. Losing. Wrist shot. Up high, right past the blocker of Mackenzie Blackwood, and this game is tied. I told you this would be a good one. Yamamoto and Lesinski shaping up for a great finish. O'Connor. Able to find Phillip Deneau. Going with a shot there and a save. Spencer Knight. Going on for the whistle. 1:07 remaining. On the face-off one, the Royals able to win. Slavkovsky over the line, took it away by Mitchell Durankov. Tucked away for Logano. Blocked by Stasny over to Strand. Strand able to move on in. Top of the right circle. Picked up by Oliver Bjorkstrand. Bjorkstrand holding on to him in the corner despite defensive pressure. Back up, nice shot there. Good cycling to save Blackwood. Vengeance are here in Quebec City at the Royal Palace. 32.6 seconds remaining. Face off in the Boston zone. The Royals lose it as the Heroes get out of their own zone after the face-off win. Ronkov, top of the right circle, took it away there. Corner, neglecting a bit of dysfunction between both teams. No teams. Boston trying to get something going. Edvidson breaks it up, down to 15. Moritz Seider down to 13 seconds. O'Connor, this puck. So we will be going to extras between the Royals and the Boston Heroes. So 60 minutes in the books. We are not done yet. We're tied at 3, Royals and Heroes. We're going to overtime. Wow, what a game. Remember, these two teams, top 2 teams in the North Division, facing each other, and they're going over to overtime. In game 1 of a back-to-back, because they will play again tomorrow. I believe it's like a noon start tomorrow. So we'll see how this one goes. Glad to have you tuned in. Here we go for overtime. The Royals and the Boston Heroes. Sit back and enjoy. Here we go for overtime. Boston Heroes and the Quebec City Royals. Glad you're with us if you're sticking around. Off the drum, Moritz side of the face-off win, able to get over to Robert Thomas. Over the blue line, Thomas moves on in, able to take a slap shot and a save by Blackwood. Entrance are, it's early in the season. If Boston gets a lead, if they start racking up points now, with the lead already, especially against divisional teams, they can really get a substantial lead pretty fast. The points add up to the front. That shot broken up. It's not like a rush there. What happens? They were both going on a rush right to the net, and then that pass just got screwed up by a few inches, and that just screwed the whole play up. Because with passing in hockey, if you just mess up your pass a little bit, it could like ruin a whole play. Oh, a hit behind the play. Moritz Seider able to move on the rush. Thomas broken up. JT Miller. 3 on 3. Kucherov. He's gonna break. Say, oh, what a save! Are you kidding me? Spencer Knight. Kept in by McCarr. Over to Claude Giroux. Through the shot. Save Spencer Knight, and he holds on. You have 7-minute overtimes, just like the East Coast Hockey League. By the way, another good chance there, an incredible save by Spencer Knight with a blocker, and he was able to shove it to the corner, but he was like a star. He was like a starfish, spreading out the body. Let's keep that one out of the net. Wow, what a save by Spencer Knight. Keeps this thing tied. Really good chance for Nikita Kucherov as well. Osinski and Claude Giroux in the Quebec zone. Here's one in the offensive zone. Shot there on the save. Scooped up on the near side. Jared Spurgeon. On the rush, Jared Spurgeon. Spurgeon's got a bit of speed. There goes to the front. Denied. And so they score! Somehow it went in. Jared Spurgeon scores and the Royals win. And they're tied with the Boston Heroes in the North Division. A wild ending to this game in the North Division in overtime here on a Saturday night. I don't know how that went in. Somehow it did. Front of the worst, nobody can find it. And then somehow you can see Coach moves in, he takes a shot and a save. There's the puck, it comes out. And he swats it away. How does it go back in? And Spurgeon, he just flicks it toward the net. very slowly, and then it just slides past the right pad of Mackenzie Blackwood just so subtly, and then it trickles in. And then the Royals win it in overtime 4-3. Wow. What a game. Glad to have you today. The Royals win over the Boston Heroes in overtime 4-3 to tie them at 8 points apiece in the North Division. You are listening to the SIHL TV and Radio Network post-game show next. What a game. That was a fun one. Glad to have you today here on the SIHL TV and Radio Network. Boston Heroes and Quebec City Royals, a crazy one. So in the first period, it was Quebec looked on top, but they couldn't beat Blackwood. In that first period, the Heroes struggle early on. Then that second period immediately, 17 seconds in on the 17 seconds in for the Boston Heroes. I believe that was a power play goal. To go back and look. No, I don't think it was. But 17 seconds in, Kucherov on a rebound. And then about halfway through, slap shot from Robert Thomas ties the game at 1. And then before the second period ends, the Heroes score 2 to take a 3-1 lead. And then down 3-1, the Royals make they score one in the second. It was Nico Hischer, I believe, makes a 1-goal game earlier on in the third, I believe, before. Might have been after the halfway point, and then with 2.5 minutes left. Was it? It was Strand who scored the tying goal with 1.5 minutes left with Yamamoto and Lesinski's help. And then Jared Spurgeon somehow winning in overtime with crazy goal. He just slid it in. Almost, it's like a Kucherov. If you took a Kucherov and then but put it at the front of the net only. That's what that play was. It was so sneaky. I didn't even know what was going on. So the Heroes and the Royals now tied at 8 points apiece. Really important game, because if Boston won this, they would have a 4-point lead, but that didn't happen. Now the Royals are tied with the Heroes for first. So I'm Heroes, glad to have you today in. We're 9:45 p.m. start for game 2. Glad to have you tuning in. Stick tuned in for that, 9:45 p.m. Glad to have you tuning in for this one. You are listening to SIHL TV Radio Network. See you in a couple hours. Otherwise, good night.